I'm a Fulani expert many years ago, nobody believed you.
Yeah.
Many years ago, nobody believed you.
Yes.
When Tony said this is the Fulani expert, we know that there's Fulani expert. What you don't say, you say because you are security officer. You know what to do. You know, if overtaking know what is security, he will know that security is number one, life is number two.
Okay, let's allow the comrade talk about this. God bless you for calling. Sir. Comrade, go ahead. Comrade Umoru. I'm going to meet you. Right. Go ahead. Everybody should meet their own. Let the comrade.
Thank you, sir. Before I go, I really want to address what the last caller said. On the issue of, there are two issues you cannot blame Buhari for. The issue of security and the issue of economy. You cannot blame Buhari for it. We elected these governors on security and we elected them for economy. We want a vibrant and buoyant economy. That's why they were voted. We want a robust security apparatus and system in our state. That's why they were voted. Now, the number one responsibility, the first responsibility of every responsible government, every sensible government is security, upon which every other thing is crested. I cannot hold Buhari culpable, or I cannot hold him responsible for the security or the breakdown of law and order in the state. He is not the chief security officer of Edo State. He's the chief security officer of Nigeria, and that power to govern Edo State has been bequeathed to Godwin Obaseki. And Godwin Obaseki is taking a monthly security allowance, which is called the security vote, that runs to 900 million. It therefore means that on behalf of Buhari, he is supposed to galvanize and coordinate the security system in Edo State, vis-a-vis the police force, the civil defense, and every other one. When he needs the help of the military, he knows the constitutional procedure to follow with which to do that. Now, I cannot hold Buhari responsible for kidnappings in Edo State, because Buhari is not the governor of Edo State. It was Obaseki who promised me security in 2020 and not Buhari. Now, Buhari is playing his own side. I am following up that on a monthly basis, what Buhari needs to govern Edo State is what is sending to Godwin Obaseki. And Obaseki is to discharge that responsibility as the governor of Edo State, representing the president. That's why we voted them. All governors are representing the president in their state. So the president has not failed in sending you monthly security votes. Not even vote allocation, because it's from there you get your security vote. The president has not failed in that. The president will even prefer to go and borrow money than to hold the state allocations. So no state has the excuse of telling us why the agricultural system is not thriving. No state has the excuse to give us on education, on security, and others, because you cannot tell me that the economy is resting on the policies of the governor of the president alone. Each governor have their economic policy. They have their economic team. So it is the thriving and the buoyancy or the growth of each state economy put together that sum up the national economy. So national economy is a pseudo. It is state economy that need to exist, need to thrive, need to be successful, need to be buoyant, need to grow, need to develop, that will not transcend to what we now call national economy. Economy does not come from the top to the bottom. It moves from the bottom to the top. And all of what forms economy are the day-to-day activities that surround buying and selling, production and distribution of goods and services. All of this sum up the economy. And this thing takes place within the periphery of a state. So we have security problems because the governors are not proactive. We have economic problems because the governors are not proactive. If the national policy is affecting your state, of course you have a state house of assembly that can bring up a policy, that can bring up a bylaw, that can aid your government. So for me, if Comrade Kabaka has come out to say that certain information is XYZ is what is driving or affecting our security system, rather than we taking him to the cleaners, rather than taking him to the slaughter for us to go and slaughter him, the best thing we can do is call people together. Call for a town hall meeting. Let Kabaka come with what he knows. Let me come with what I know. Let us provide solution. Because in the end, The people that are being killed, they are not known as APC people, they are not known as PDP people, they are known as the citizens of Edo State. The governor is not the governor of PDP, it's not the governor of APC. When he was APC, he was governor of Edo State. Now he's in PDP, it's now governor of Edo State. He is not governor of PDP or governor of APC. So, if what Comrade Kabaka has said is now generating hits among others, I think we should go outside the box and see from it what is the root cause of insecurity in Edo State. Because it's not just on herdsmen alone, and that is why you see the herdsmen of a thing is affecting the president. So he now told Lai Mohammed and others to change it from herdsmen to bandits. Who are bandits? Bandits are the same people who are the ones pushing cows around the bush and holding weapons among themselves, holding weapons and using these weapons. So it's still the same Fulani men. Now we now have indigenous boys who are jobless. The ones Governor Basagi promised 200,000 jobs. Most of them did not get these jobs. Instead, a lot of them are losing their jobs. Now these guys have no means of livelihood. They take to the street, take to the bush and kidnap people. And those sons are part of those kidnapping people. It is clear. We have seen those that the vigilantes have engaged and arrested. Most of them are those sons. Majority of them too are outsiders who are the Fulanis among others. So my people, ask not what the government to do for you, ask what you can do for the government. Kabaka has done his own part by giving us information, by speaking his mind. You that is keeping quiet, you are part of the problem of Edo State. It's not easy to just jump out, pick up your phone and begin to malign Kabaka. Comrade Kabaka is not in my party. It's not in my party, it's not my brother, we are not political allies. But whatever he's saying today is for my own benefit, it's for your benefit. I come to Edo State, I'm scared of passing the night in Edo State. I'm scared of driving through Auchi Benin Road. Each time I'm going to that place, I want to pass that place, I have to do 3 days or 4 days fasting and beg God that the angels of God will be on the road so that we pass. The last time I passed, it was the military men that saved us. A lot of persons were calling, and I think I told Comrade this. A lot of persons were calling, thinking that it was my own car that was hit. So all of these allegiances to a political party more than the state, we have to stop this madness. For God's sake, allow Kabaka to speak his mind. Kabaka is not a slave in Edo State. He's a freeborn citizen of Edo State, and he's a stakeholder. He is a stakeholder. So if there are things he knows about our security system, we should listen to him. Most time we need to do community policing. Community policing is what will secure our state the more. So please, Edo people, those of you that are quick to judge, what have you contributed to this state? What are the things that the Edo have benefited? What are you doing in your community? Your community don't have schools. Your community, people are kidnapping them. Their farms are bad. A lot of things are going wrong. And you are still coming out. You have not even contributed a dime. Now, people who are trying to do their best for the state, you are talking them down. You should go home and take your head. Who do all this thing now? So, comrade, for me, I think we are in the right
Bolade then I do us. Bolade Pepe then.
And if you check now, where is Bolale himself? Bolale is handicapped. He has been capacitated. He has been capacitated. Sincerely, he has been capacitated. Now, Kabaka is out saying we should do this, we should do that. Most of the problem we have is that we think the people in government are the one who have the final solution to our problem. No. We must engage stakeholders in these communities, in the society. Kabaka is one of the stakeholders. MEGACOMRADE is one of the stakeholders. Dada Masis is one of the stakeholders. Olakoko is one of the stakeholders. Bob Mane is one of the stakeholders. Every person and citizens of Edo State that are concerned about the well-being of our people, they are stakeholders. We must engage major stakeholders. There are former military retired generals, retired captains, retired soldiers, retired recruits, and all the rest of them. We engage these people. They have this thing here. They have this thing. There are people who don't know how to read and write, but they are good in community policing. Let us engage them. Let us save the life of our people. Let us save them. Education has come to give us problem because we now feel you must know how to speak English, you must know how to write, you must have masters like Bob Mane, you must have doctorate degree like MEGACOMRADE, you must be a professor like Professor this and that before you can engage in community. MEGACOMRADE, there are people who cannot speak English. They are more more wizards. They are more professors in wisdom and knowledge than me and you. We need to fish these people and engage them. These people are in our communities. They are ordinary peasant farmers, but the wisdom on their head can go a long way for us. So we need to engage a lot of people. Then if you check, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago in Benin, a vigilante shot somebody dead. But if that vigilante was trained with the spirit he's having, he was trained on how to engage with civilians, how to hold the weapon publicly, and not just the way they hold in the bush and all the rest of it, you will have a more modernized and refined community policing. In Lagos, we have neighborhood watch. They don't hold gun, but they can disarm you that is holding gun. It's a result of training. All of this we have opined and positioned and sent to Governor Obaseki. But our governor seems not to be paying attention to the issues of security. Now, earlier on, I read along the line because I was following up. Yes, somebody said, "Do we have money to buy helicopter?"
Three helicopters.
3 helicopters. Fine. I don't think I can buy 10 helicopters, and I will tell you why. When I check, helicopter ranges between $1.2 million to $15 million. It means that grade by grade, we don't need to go for the fastest or the biggest or the latest. We can go according to the one our boss can carry and ensure that it is healthy and durable and can serve us. Now, the total amount for security votes a year is 10.8 billion. It therefore shows that in 10.8 billion, if one helicopter is $1 billion, that means a year we can get 10 helicopters. So what are we talking about? Are we now saying that because of security? Yes. Are we now saying that because it's security vote, we cannot spend extra money outside the security vote on security? Yes, we can. After procuring that, the government can deepen into the purse and get money to train personnel and get other equipment. Like Lagos, they got new vehicles, got bike, got bicycle, and baton. So we can do all of this. If you go to Lagos, not that there are no security challenges in Lagos, but Lagos is far, a million times better than our own society, Edo State. And we need to speak. And I want to close with this. Aristotle said, and I quote, "For you who is sitting down at home, listen to this. You that is fighting Kabaka, fighting everybody that is coming to oppose Obaseki. You did not work for Obaseki more than me. I stake my life, I almost lost my life on the line. So when we are talking, we know where we are coming from, and we know I have evidence and I can prove it any day, anytime. The governor cannot deny that he doesn't know that I was part of his campaign committee." So I close with the words of Aristotle. Aristotle said, and I quote, "You may not be interested in what the state does, but whatever affects the state will affect you. Kidnapping has not gotten you to your doorstep. That's why you are clapping for Obaseki. Hunger and starvation has not gotten to your doorstep. That's why you are clapping for Obaseki. The youth in your family have not been frustrated enough so that they can take up arms and begin to deal with the people from their family. That's why you are clapping for Obaseki. When you have a tip of this bag, just a glimpse of this little thing that is happening, you will understand how to engage government for capacity, performance, for maximum development, delivery of dividends of democracy." So, MEGACOMRADE, if anybody wants to challenge anybody on speaking, refer them to chapter 4, section 33 to 46 of the 1999 Constitution. That is where they get their power. Or you refer them to United Nations article on fundamental human rights. There are 30 different fundamental human rights in that article. So anyone who think we don't have rights as a people, we have. Then I want to also refer you to
that social is what we call First Amendment right in the United States.
Yes, sir. The First Amendment, yes. So I also want to refer them to another one. Those of them that just sit down and then begin to say the governor is Alpha and Omega. Mr. President is Alpha and Omega. He's Otokinadu. He can do, he can kill, he can do this. No. There is what we call social contract theory. I am a political scientist. In social contract theory, let me bring it to a layman understanding where you will understand it better. Social contract is like this. Now we are 4 here. MEGACOMRADE, Olakoko, Ambassador Dada Masses, and Bob Mane. Now, Olakoko, Ambassador Dadamasi, and Bob Mane now agree to bring a little of their power together and give to MEGACOMRADE to govern us. That is what social contract theory is. We have given you a little of our power. Meanwhile, we still have others reserved with us. That if MEGACOMRADE is not leading us well, the rest power with us, we can put it together and draw him out. That is social contract. So we have given you power to lead us does not mean that you are all and all. You are just a chief servant. I can pick my phone in a same society. If democracy is democracy and it's working well, it's supposed to be operated to the point that I can pick my phone and call the governor and tell him that the road in my community is bad and I want it fixed first thing in the morning. As a servant, he's supposed to answer that call immediately. But we now have the paraphernalia of government. Everybody begin to misbehave. We are not playing the politics according to rule. The rules of democracy does not say the governor is king or the governor is an emperor or is an autocrat. In the rules of democracy, is power of the people, by the people, for the people. The governor is first a servant slave before thinking of himself a master. But in Edo State, once the governor go to toilet, hey, Baba, once the governor drink water, they praise him. Instead of the governor seeing you to tell you, well done, my people, or give you report. In the same society where democracy is operational, in the modus operandi of democracy, the governor is accountable to the people. In steward, is supposed to be giving the account of his steward to the people as at when due periodically. But we are not operating that. Every citizen of Edo State is just after Ogbane, plot of plot, talk about this and that, this. You still want to be living in that place. Ogbane time has expired. 4+4 has expired. It is time for development and performance. And our governor is doing poorly. And we have to speak. If a governor fails on security, he has failed on everything. If a president fails on security, he has failed on everything. So this is my point tonight, MEGACOMRADE. Thank you for having me. And I am happy to be here again.
Thank you. God bless you, Comrade. I want to quickly, clear this. Those that were complaining about the helicopter proposal, that the state should have at least minimum of 3 helicopters in Edo State, in order for us to be able to attack the Fulani herdsmen, the banditry, or the criminals on air and land. That is the only way Edo State will be secured. And the price, they complain about the price of helicopter, that the Edo State government have no money for helicopter. There are helicopters of $250,000, just $250,000. There are helicopters of $700,000. A very good helicopter that is even better than the presidency helicopter is less than $300,000. You know what I'm saying? Why we are doing this? The state allocation, let's not forget about allocation, security vote in a month. 10% of security vote can secure Edo State. The problem is that our His Excellency Governor Godwin Obaseki, who I campaigned vigorously against for almost 5 years, for Edo people not to re-elect him, he was a mistake governor, and a lot of people call me names. He's angry with me because I'm criticizing his administration. I'm criticizing his policy. There's this man, what I read about a few days ago, called Atta Solari. I don't know if you know about it, comrade, who was a problem to former Nigerian military president, Babangida. And this is what they said. They said Atta Solari was a problem for IBB. He had a credit of, it was a credit, hard credit of IBB. And what else? Everything Babangida did, he was against it. And he became a perpetual lover of the poor. He begins to fall in love with the poor more and more. He continued to criticize IBB. He called IBB incompetent, a military head of state. A man stood up and called him incompetent. You cannot yet call Obaseki that today. So one day, you know what the president did? President Ibrahim Babangida did. You know what he did? After series of criticism, IBB invited Taya for a discussion in Donda Barrack. IBB asked them to bring him. He came there. Then IBB engaged in discussion with Taya in Donda Barrack. He asked him, tell me what I will do better. Everything I am doing, you criticizing it. He asked Taya, he said, tell me what President Ibrahim Babangida, head of state, chief of armed forces, what will I do better? You know what he told him? He said he should invest on the poor. Right?
Yes, sir.
He told him, say, invest. Let me tell you, good or bad, either he went well, he did not went well. Babangida is the man that created Abuja today. He developed Abuja. He moved state headquarters, federal capital from Lagos to Abuja. Babangida, no president have done better than Babangida.
No.
Let's call it what it is. That is wisdom of communication. When they say Babangida is a Maradona, he's charming, he's playing Nigerian, because he has a wisdom of communication. He engage you. That is what Governor Obaseki is lacking today. He has no wisdom of management, wisdom of tolerance, wisdom of engagement, above all, wisdom of acceptances. When a man like a wisdom of management, his administration is doomed to fail. No amount of money you're going to bring. And Governor Obaseki, who have never put on a goddamn even common a gate man's uniform, he have never put it on. But he tends to rule Edo State with Operation Iron Fist. In an autocratic system of governing, whereby nobody dare question him. If you dare him, you are in trouble. What are we talking about? Governor Obaseki have the money to secure Edo State. Buhari is paying him every month. Allocation is coming in. Security vote is coming in. We are, at least Governor Oshomule, a former governor who I respect, came out one time and cried that Goodluck Jonathan is delaying Edo State money. That is going to lead Edo State to revolt against Jonathan. Jonathan released the money immediately, which Buhari have not done one day. Come on now, what are we talking about? We have almost 700 people watching right now. And these people every day we keep educating them. What are they doing? When they light up one street light, they say Operation Light Edo. Later we find out that Edo are individually lighting up Edo. They were tired of waiting for the government. Obaseki cannot put a street light in Edo. Oshomo Power cannot even light Saple Road. I was told that Oshomo Power cannot light Edo State. That all was a scam. That if we are waiting,
150 kilometers is off.
On Sunday or another day, because I know we are going to do a moment of truth this week. On Sunday or another day, I will tell you Osishomo Power Plant and the problem of BDC. You remember there was a cost problem on BDC. I will tell you why Obaseki want to close down BDC at all costs. So all of that one, we keep the matter for another.
We'll keep that one for Tuesday. So, God bless you, comrade. You can go to where you want to go. I know you are busy. If you want to stay, you can go ahead and stay. Let's pick some call. So, Edo people, call this crap. Comrade Tony Kabaka have come